Warning, the player selections you're about to see may flop miserably. FPL TV cannot be held responsible for any of your own transfer shockers. Please, FPL responsibly.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Point Predictor, the series where I pick 5 players that I think will score 4 points or more in the upcoming FPL Gameweek. Within these predictions, I can only select one player per club, and I must follow the categories shown on screen. If you enjoy the Point Predictor series, then be sure to support the channel by dropping a like and getting subscribed to FPL TV. My defensive option this week was between 2 players, Brighton's Shane Duffy and Wolves' Matt Doherty, and with the Wolves wing-back often disappointing in the seemingly easy fixtures, I've gone for another player facing Huddersfield this week. Brighton are a side in poor form at the moment, failing to win in their last 7 Premier League games, so that's not ideal for this choice. But their defensive record at home is actually one of the best in the league, with just 15 goals conceded in 13 home games, which is bettered only by Spurs, Arsenal, City, Chelsea and Liverpool, so 5 of the big 6. What I like about Shane Duffy in particular is his outstanding goal threat. And based on his recent stats, if Brighton do fail to keep that clean sheet, the Irishman has a very good chance of attacking returns anyway. In the last 4 game weeks, Duffy has produced the most penalty area touches of all defenders, even more than Kolasinac and Matt Doherty surprisingly. He also boasts the most goal attempts amongst defenders too, with 9, and all of this even though Brighton have only played 3 times in the last 4 game weeks. My budget midfield pick this week, below the value of 8 million, goes to Leicester's James Maddison. Not too long ago, I wasn't sold on Maddison as an FPL option, simply because previous manager Puel seemed to sub him off constantly, and therefore he was never guaranteed 90 minutes. But having played the full 90 in the last 3, and now with a new manager coming in to provide a bounce in form, I'm expecting the talented youngster to become a very handy player for us managers in the coming weeks. In the last 4 game weeks, Maddison's stats make for very good reading, because at the moment he appears to be the league's most creative midfielder, with 21 chances created. To put that into perspective, that's 15 more chances created than Paul Pogba on 6 during that spell. The good news is, he's also 3rd for goal attempts in the last 4 game weeks too, so at just 6.6 million, he offers both assist and goal potential. My any-priced midfield pick this week goes to City's Raheem Sterling, a player I'm very concerned not to own this game week. The difficulty with Sterling and City assets in general is always that fear of rotation, but for this week in particular, with Sterling having his well-earned rest against West Ham, he looks almost guaranteed to be starting against this struggling Bournemouth in game week 29. On paper, this looks to be a very nice fixture for City, as Bournemouth are missing some key men at the moment, and they've conceded 11 goals in their last 4 games, which is the worst defensive record in that spell, with 1 more goal conceded than Fulham. Not much needs to be said about Sterling's underlying stats, as he's always in amongst the top for penalty area touches and goal attempts, even though he gets rotated from time to time. Of course, with him not currently in my personal team, part of me hopes I'm wrong with this prediction. My budget forward pick this week goes to the now fit again Marcus Rashford. I think game week 29 could spell good news for those that stuck by the informed forward, because fortunately his injury wasn't serious, and manager Solskjaer has now confirmed in his press conference that Rashford is fine to play this game against Southampton. Of course, I'm not the manager, so there's no guarantee that he starts, but it's been suggested that he could, and if so, I do like this fixture at home to Southampton. Defensively, there's not too much to go off stats-wise for this prediction, because actually Southampton have tightened up a bit lately, with just 7 goals conceded in their last 6 games. So they're not conceding bucket loads of goals, but their 2-0 win against Fulham during midweek was only their 2nd clean sheet in 18 Premier League games. Therefore, the floodgates may not be open, but they are still conceding, and this trip to Old Trafford I think will be too much of an ask for them. And lastly for the Point Predictor, I'm taking a punt on an expensive differential in Gonzalo Higuain. Despite his past exploits, I still consider this one a bit of a punt, simply because he's still new to the league and has only played 264 minutes of Premier League football so far. However, in that short space of time, he still managed to sit 4th for goal attempts among strikers, producing 13 in just 4 games, which isn't bad considering 2 of the games have been against Spurs and Man City. Tough games on paper. Against lesser opposition, for example Huddersfield, he got himself 2 goals and a double-digit FPL haul, which I'm hoping he can do against this Fulham side who are still conceding goals for fun at the moment. This season, Fulham have conceded a whopping 63 goals in 28 games, with only 2 clean sheets to their name. Even if we look more recently, in the last 4 game weeks, they have the second worst defensive record with 10 goals conceded and 0 clean sheets. And even if we look at home form specifically, they're still averaging 2 goals conceded per game at Craven Cottage. So that wraps up Game Week 29's Point Predictor. Let me know what you think of the choices and who your 5 picks would be for Game Week 29. As always, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and if so, don't forget to get subscribed to FPL TV. Good luck to you all for Game Week 29, FPL responsibly, and I'll catch you all next week.